Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. 693 days less the Russian invasion of Ukraine. France can produce 78 Caesar self-propelled howitzers for Ukraine by early 2025, reports European Pravda. According to French Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu, in the coming weeks Paris will supply 6 Caesar howitzers to Kyiv, with plans for the delivery of another 72 by early 2025. Currently Ukraine has 49 Caesar howitzers. Lecornu noted that Ukraine bought the 6 howitzers at its own expense. The creation of a French and American-led artillery coalition aimed at strengthening Kyiv's capabilities had been announced in Paris on Thursday. Ukraine's defense minister Rustem Umerov was scheduled to visit the French capital, but his trip was cancelled for security reasons. He joined the planned events online. Lecornu added that the Caesar long-range self-propelled howitzer, the flagship of French artillery, costs between 3 and 4 million euros, a price he believes is acceptable to Paris allies. At the same time, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky had a phone call with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron. They discussed preparations for future Macron's visit to Ukraine and signing of the bilateral agreement on security guarantees. Zelensky thanked Macron for launching the Artillery Coalition initiative and for the French commitments announced within its framework to produce dozens of Caesar artillery systems and ammunition for Ukraine in 2024. Defense Minister of Ukraine Rustem Umerov said at the opening of the Artillery Coalition in Paris that the armed forces on the battlefield are short of ammunition and artillery capabilities for Ukraine must be increased, reports Interfax Ukraine. According to the minister, Russia has a huge advantage over the armed forces of Ukraine in daily artillery attacks. In various sectors of the front line and at the various stages of combat operations, they fired 5 to 10 times more artillery shells than the Ukrainian forces did. Umerov noted that increasing Ukraine's artillery capabilities would give Kyiv much more opportunities for sustained progress on the battlefield. We would really appreciate if you could rate us, ideally with 5 stars, and leave a glowing review in the app where you are listening to this podcast, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and others. This really helps more people to find out about the highlights from Ukraine and truth about Russia's invasion. A Ukrainian drone attacked an oil depot in Russia's Leningrad Oblast, reports Ukrainska Pravda. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed that it shot an unmanned aerial vehicle down. At the same time, Astra Telegram channel stated that the drone crashed and exploded on the territory of the St. Petersburg oil terminal, which is the largest Russian oil transshipment terminal in the Baltic region. Minister for Strategic Industries of Ukraine Alexander Kamyshin said that the Ukrainian-made drone that struck an oil depot in St. Petersburg flew 1,200 kilometers before reaching its target. He pointed out that it is an evidence of Ukraine's production capabilities. Quote, asymmetric warfare will require a lot of drones. I am sure we will see more such events this year, unquote, Kamyshin said. According to the media, the attack was conducted by the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine. At the same time, intelligence didn't confirm it officially, but informed that the oil depot was actively used to circumvent sanctions, and accordingly to supply and finance the invaders' troops and the occupation corps in Ukraine. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just 2 people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.